Earth Year 223. In the wake of the final war known as the Great Destruction, mankind was forced underground. But with the discovery of the pre-war Mars immigration project, the human race would again prosper and flourish. The age of conflict in the subterranean world was finally over, and the newly established government made restoration of the devastated environment its priority. Emigration to Mars was encouraged, but this influx of settlers posed a threat to law and order on the Red Planet. Corporations that were all-powerful during the subterranean era lost their foothold when the government was created. But with a new planet, ripe for exploration, they discovered opportunities to regain their strength.
You know the drill. This mission will test your abilities. The test is simple. All you have to do is destroy all MTs that have entered this region. Should you succeed, you will be registered as a Raven in the arena. If you fail, you die. I'll accompany you as an observer, but only in that capacity. Keep this in mind. Here they are. Time to see what you learned on Earth.
System engaged.
Go straight along the road and clean them out. Take him out. Not bad. Your piloting abilities are impressive. Congratulations. From now on, you are a Raven.
Objective. power. Disengaged.
Prototype MTs are malfunctioning and running loose in the Bundle MT factory. The cause of this may be the electromagnetic field surrounding a meteor that fell nearby. As the malfunctioning MTs are only prototypes, they are weakly armed. No major damage is expected, but we cannot let them run amok. Your mission assignment is the destruction of all malfunctioning MTs. Good luck.
System engaged.
The gates between blocks have been closed to prevent the damage from spreading. Destroy all MTs in each of the blocks. Doing so will open the gates one by one. To Block B has been released. Block C has been released.
We request the elimination of an informer. The target is an employee of ours who has been selling highly classified information to other corporations. Through surveillance, we've learned that he will be meeting with representatives from Emerald Corporation tonight at Fauna Crater. We want you to eliminate him then and there. Attack only the vehicle that the target has boarded. Ignore the corporate forces. We want to send them a message that we'll no longer tolerate such activities. I don't like having to hire a raven, but as the rest of our forces are engaged in other activities, I don't really have a choice. That is all. Good luck.
AC detected nearby. Raven? Ah, damn it, they found out. All units converge on the Raven. Make sure our contact is protected.
System engaged. Objective achieved.
Head to the old bridge in the Tread Special Environment Zone. The bridge is a remnant left over from the first terraforming. It's now occupied by Zeo Matrix. We have no idea why Zeo has entered this zone, but we have jurisdiction over the old facilities, and unauthorized corporate encroachment will not be tolerated. Eliminate all corporate MTs. This will serve as a warning to them. This area is very high in temperature due to its exposure to lava released from a nearby volcano. The roads are badly damaged, but being a Raven, this should pose no problem. That is all. Good luck.
It's a Raven. All units, mission priority has changed. Attack!
Main system engaging combat mode.
The bridge is old and decayed. Watch your step.
Mission objective achieved. System switch to normal mode.
This is an emergency. Disorder units have been discovered in the 17th district of the underground high-speed railway. I'm requesting your services to eliminate them. Disorder units are unmanned, armored weapons of unknown origin. They've appeared in many places throughout Mars and have caused severe damage in the cities and facilities. This railway is part of a critical transport network on Mars. Should this get out of hand, the economic repercussions would be immense. The situation requires immediate attention. The LCC is currently handling other issues. Therefore, we've decided that hiring a Raven is the best course of action. Please take care of the situation. We cannot let these weapons of unknown origin hinder progress on Mars. Failure is not an option.
Main system engaging combat mode.
There are many enemy units. Be prepared for multiple targets.
Mission objective achieved. System switch to normal mode.
Please attack Zeomatrix's energy collection facility. The target is the Rectenna installation in the Hellas Plain. Solar devices blanket the area, collecting sunlight and converting it into energy for use in the major Martian cities. The goal is to undermine the public trust in Zeomatrix by destroying their ability to supply a necessary commodity, power. Destroy the facility and all Rectenna devices. The facility is guarded by cannons and a squadron of fighter planes. Therefore, we will be attacking at night, when we should encounter less resistance. We will also be assembling an MT support team to provide you with cover. Failure is not an option. As a Raven, I'm sure you understand.
We've arrived at the target area, commencing AC drop.
Main system engaging combat mode.
An MT platoon supplied by our client will accompany us on this mission. They're unmanned, so their loss is of little concern. Use them to your advantage.
Mission objective achieved. System switch to normal mode.
Emerald forces have crossed the Arden River and are closing in on our lab. They have been confirmed as mobile units armed with long-range weapons. The lab has no defense system, so it will undoubtedly be destroyed once they are within firing range. We therefore request that you eliminate the assault force. Our real problem is the extreme width of the river. If the enemy units come in force, there's a good chance that they'll be able to break through. We've set 3 relay points. You'll be notified when the enemy passes each one. Use this information to prevent them from breaking through our last line of defense. Good luck.
We request that you attack the Zeomatrix transport vehicle. The target is a lightly armed transport vehicle. According to our report, they'll be traveling on the T-20 highway. This route is different from the one normally used. The vehicle is probably transporting information on a newly developed technology. Capture the cargo and bring it to us. If this is not possible, destroy them both. The transport's destruction is the minimum requirement for this mission. That is all.
We've arrived at the target area. Leaving the area of operations.
Main system engaging combat mode.
It's a Raven. Move out.
Disorder unit? Looks like we'll be unable to recover the goods. Go ahead and destroy them.
Mission objective achieved. System switch to normal mode.
We've obtained information regarding a planned assault on Vilhul spaceport. The spaceport is the main hub for travel between Earth and Mars. One of our Earth government spaceships is scheduled to land at the spaceport. The attack is probably intended to prevent it from doing so. The assault team is of unknown origin. but it's assumed they were hired by one of the corporations. We must destroy anyone who attempts to disturb the peace on Mars. We want to hire you to protect the terminal from potential enemy attack. You will also be provided with a support team to assist you in this mission. You will be reimbursed, even if the planned assault does not occur. You have no reason to reject this offer, have you?
Seems like everything here is normal. Let's go.
Unidentified squadron approaching. Commence attack.
Main system engaging combat mode.
As usual, we paid for the ammunition, so use it wisely. Bomber approaching.
Checking ammunition and energy. All clear. Resupply complete.
Mission objective achieved. System switched to normal mode.
Disorder units have been detected in the newly developed Malaya base, located in the Barrel Desert. We are unable to figure out where they're coming from. Disorder units aren't that powerful, but can pose a problem when grouped. Finesse is the key here, as it has been decided that a Raven will best serve our purpose. Your mission is the destruction of all disorder units. Remember, this operation and the existence of the base are both top secret. Be careful.
We've learned that Emerald is planning an attack on our transport train, Blacktail. Blacktail is transporting newly developed AC parts and will be refueling at the Schiaparelli train terminal, located in the Green District. The terminal is undefended, and it's quite possible that Blacktail will be attacked while refueling. So be sure to give top priority to guarding the train's engine. You should protect the train until it reaches a minimum safe distance. Please, Raven, do not fail us.
We've arrived at the target area, commencing AC drop. Main system, engaging combat mode.
Enemy attacks can come from any direction. Be prepared.
This is Blacktail. I'll be arriving soon.
Reinforcements verified. AC catastrophe verified. Commence attack. Keep in mind, your primary objective is to guard the train.
This is Blacktail. Resupply complete. We're heading out. Blacktail, coast is clear. Thanks for your help.
Mission objective achieved. System switch to normal mode.
Disorder units have been detected in the newly developed Malaya base, located in the Barrel Desert. We are unable to figure out where they are coming from. Disorder units aren't that powerful, but can pose a problem when grouped. Finesse is the key here, as the base must remain intact. We'll require a small, maneuverable unit. It has been decided that a Raven will best serve our purpose. Your mission is the destruction of all disorder units. Remember, this operation and the existence of the base are both top secret. Be careful.
Main system engaging in combat mode.
Number of disorder units increasing. Destroy them as quickly as possible.
It has remained.
Main system engaging combat mode.
Number of disorder units increasing. Destroy them as quickly as possible.
Objective achieved. System switched to normal mode.
Head over to the Talent Underground factory. They've come under attack by LCC forces. The facility looks like an empty factory, but this is only camouflage. Within its deepest recesses is an information terminal where all our AC information is stored. LCC's attack seems to have been prompted by the discovery of this fact. We've also learned that Balena and LCC are cooperating. Destroy all enemy forces, no matter the cost. LCC has been quiet up until now, but it seems as though this period of calm is now over. We must resist their forces. The facility is being guarded by one of our ravens. Work with him to take out the LCC forces. We will pay you in full prior to the operation. Good luck. el
Main system engaging combat mode.
Defense system seems to be out of control. Ignore the guardians and concentrate on the enemy attackers.
Please hurry, Raven. I need assistance. These guys shouldn't be underestimated.
AC part acquired. Gate check. Cannot unlock gate. Gate check. Cannot unlock gate. Cannot unlock gate.
Frightners, already on Mars.
Mission complete, but I've detected a unit of unknown origin, a Raven. I'll destroy it.
Boyle, Ramila, the operation is finished.
Roger.
You're lucky, Raven.
Frightners. Mission complete. Return to base.
We've learned that LCC forces are planning an attack against Zanguchi, one of our satellite cities, via the Tarana Mountains. In order to launch a ground-based attack from the Tarana Mountains, the LCC forces will have to cross the bridge spanning the Great Chasm. The bridge is a good place to set up our attack, as it will force the enemy units into a narrow corridor. The proverbial meat grinder, if you will. We need you to attack and destroy all enemy forces on the bridge. We will provide 2 MTs of our own as support. This will be our reply to LCC's overture. You must not fail.
Main system engaging combat mode.
Enemy activity detected. We'll watch your back. Good luck, Raven.
Enemy forces targeted. Commencing attack. All allies must leave the area.
AC part acquired.
Commencing the second attack. Friendly forces must leave the area immediately. Reinforcements incoming. Enemy forces targeted. Commencing attack. All allies must leave the area. Destroyed. Mission complete.
Mission objective achieved. System switched to normal mode.
You are requested to attack Liebel underwater base. an LCC facility located in the Idonia Ocean. The ocean is a public resource, and the building of private facilities is restricted. LCC is currently constructing a facility there under the guise of a public operation. This facility's true purpose is unknown, but reports are filtering in of chemical containers being transported there. This cannot be allowed to continue. Infiltrate the underwater facility and destroy it. Take out as much equipment as possible in order to cripple it. There is no need to be considerate with LCC. Destroy whatever you want.
Main system engaging combat mode. Cannot unlock gate. Gate check. Cannot unlock gate. System error. Radar functions failing.
Chemical particles have become attached to your AC. You won't be able to use your radar for a while. Be careful. Mission complete. Return to base. ACs. Frightners.
This is Assault Dog. Intruder detected. Possibly a Raven.
He's just a guy sent by Emerald. Get rid of him.
Roger that. You're not getting away from me, Raven.
You're pretty good. I'll remember you.
Mission objective achieved. System switch to normal mode.
One of our teams disappeared in the Alka Special Environment Zone while conducting mining research. A pod loaded with minerals is also missing. A rescue mission should be dispatched immediately. But disorder units are common throughout the zone. Our rescue forces would not be able to make it safely. We've therefore decided to ask you to rescue the research team and recover the pod. Please depart immediately. Make the recovery of the pod a top priority. This will be the minimum requirement for this mission.
I'm picking up a signal on the tracking device. They're somewhere here in this pit. It's your show from here on in, Raven. Good luck.
Main system engaging combat mode.
Raven, I picked up your signal. We need your help to get out of here.
Hurry! What's taking you so long?
You're close. Can you see us?
What are you doing? Hurry up!
AC part acquired.
We made it. Thanks, Raven.
Your skills still leave something to be desired.
Mission objective achieved. System switched to normal mode.
As part of a joint mission with LCC, we will be launching an attack on Emerod's Zamda base. Our assignment is the neutralization of the base's defensive forces. We want you to infiltrate the base, which happens to be Emerod's largest, and destroy a specific target. Your target is the facility's radar. With this out of the way, Emerod will lose its eyes, at which point LCC will commence their attack. The base is well defended, so a frontal assault is out of the question. Instead, make your way through the underground caverns. Please destroy the facility once you've moved above ground. You must succeed.
Main system engaging combat mode.
Communications will be disabled until you exit the cavern. Be careful. Communications restored. Continue the mission.
All members, this is Defense Team 1. Enemy intrusion detected. They've gained access to the underground facility. Commence it.
AC part acquired. Mission objective achieved. System switched to normal mode.
One of our transport planes has crashed in the Arja Mountains. Initially, we thought weather was to blame, but upon review, we detected a heat source close by prior to the crash. Based on this information, it's likely that our transport plane was attacked by enemy forces intent on stealing its cargo.
The plane is carrying top-secret files. We hereby request that you destroy the containers holding these files. You are authorized to eliminate any who attempt to interfere.
We will pay all of your fees up front. You must succeed. Emergency situation. We have verified that an LCC attack team is invading Zeo. Our corporation... Base deployed.
We've arrived at the target area, commencing AC drop.
Main system engaging combat mode. Part acquired.
MT platoon of unknown origin. They're probably the enemy. Destroy them all.
Aborting mission.
We've just learned that Emerald has regained control of Zamda military base, which we captured in cooperation with Balena Corporation. They seem prepared to fight us for control. We'll be executing a counterattack on Zamda base. We need to gather forces and erase the Emerald from Zamda once and for all. We are asking for your participation in this assault. Your mission is to destroy the facility's main computer. Doing so will disable the entire base and give Emerald no means with which to continue the battle. Even though their forces are depleted, they are still a formidable opponent. Be prepared for resistance. This will be the final military assault on Emerald. Total annihilation is our only option.
Main system engaging combat mode.
The gate leading to the base is locked. The lock may take some time. Destroy all enemies located outside.
AC part acquired.
resupply you. The gate has been unlocked. They're probably waiting for you. Proceed with care. Just ahead.
We're both Ravens. No hard feelings, right?
Well done. Let's leave the rest up to the others.
Mission objective achieved. System switch to normal mode.
I'm seeking partners for a mission I've accepted. The mission's objective is to attack Zeo's research team stationed in Falna Crater. It appears that they are investigating a spaceship that crashed there. Magnetic storms are at their peak in the area. These storms will render all electronic equipment, including radar, useless. We must locate our enemies visually. The enemies are numerous, so it will be a difficult fight. I hope you are up to the challenge. I've prepared a substantial reward, which I will pay you prior to the mission. I'm waiting for you.
We've arrived at the target area. Leaving the area of operations.
It's been a while. Thanks for coming. I'm on the other side of the hill. Together we'll ambush the enemy platoon. Let's go.
Main system engaging combat mode.
There are a number of enemy MTs and guards. The mission is to eliminate all hostile units. AC Holy Mother detected. It's piloted by a Raven working with the Seal Corporation. They've all been destroyed. I still cannot believe what an exceptional pilot you have become. I guess Klein wasn't wrong after all. You are too dangerous. You must be eliminated.
Objective achieved. System switch to normal mode.
The files stolen by the Special Forces have been relocated to Balena Corporation's AC Research Lab. They must be recovered. This mission has two objectives: recover the files and destroy the research lab. Destroying the lab will greatly hinder Balena's ability to compete with us. Your area of responsibility is the removal of enemy resistance and planting the bomb. While you're doing that, our team will work to recover the files. The bomb is to be placed on the facility's main computer. You must evacuate as soon as the bomb is set. You can gain access to the facility from either of two routes. Good luck.
We've arrived at the target area, commencing AC drop.
Main system engaging combat mode.
You can gain access here. Avoid any security. Been detected. They're transmitting ERL signals to the outside.
Raven, can you hear me? We got the files and we're leaving the area. Good luck.
Anything on the scanners?
This is God Dog. I'm in position.
Preparations complete. Commence the attack.
Bomb planted, system activated. You have 5 minutes.
Mission objective achieved. System switch to normal mode.
It seems Emerald still has one more trick up their sleeve. The immense surface weapon, SRBIA, has emerged from Zamda base and is advancing through the Bereld Desert. Our satellite relays are in its path. If they are destroyed, our information division will be crippled. We must prevent this from happening at all costs. We need you to stop the SRBIA. Destroy its heavy weapons and strip it of offensive power. We'll provide you with 2 MTs as support. If this mission succeeds, it would be a great windfall for us with LCC. We're counting on you.
We'll be working together on this mission. It's a pleasure to meet you, Raven.
Large heat source detected.
I'll be watching your back. Good luck.
Main system engaging combat mode. Part acquired.
The operation is complete.
Mission objective achieved. System switch to normal mode.
We request that you board our submarine and protect it en route to its destination. The submarine is transporting the recovered files, so we must be prepared for attempts by LCC and Belena to regain them. Please stand by until needed. LCC has an impressive naval arsenal which includes aircraft carriers. Many dangers await us. Be prepared for any and all eventualities.
Unidentified units detected on radar. We can't dive. The water is too shallow. You've got to protect us.
Main system engaging combat mode.
Your AC cannot be recovered should it fall into the ocean. You have been warned.
Enemy battleships detected. Commence attack. Aircraft approaching. Aborting mission. Unidentified units detected on radar. We can't dive. The water is too shallow. You've got to protect us. Main system engaging combat mode.
Your AC cannot be recovered should it fall into the ocean. You have been warned.
Enemy battleships detected. Commence attack.
This is your only exit. Return here once your investigation is complete.
Main system. Engaging combat mode.
Looks like there's nothing here. Wait, I'm picking something up on the radar. High temperature response. Missiles approaching. Get out now. Enemy units detected. ACs. It's a trap.
You know too much.
Unable to recover your HP while enemy units are present. Take them out. There now. Mission objective achieved. System switch to normal mode.
I'd like to make a request as representative of Zeo Matrix's Earth headquarters. As you know, we're at war with Zeo Matrix's Mars division. Clearly, this was caused by LCC's high-handed attitude. The battle isn't in our favor, so yesterday we made a peace proposal with LCC during a meeting held on Earth. However, the Mars division adjourned the meeting in fierce disagreement. We don't want to make the situation any worse, but we're concerned about something they said. Their last words were, "We still have a card up our sleeve." Since the meeting, the Mars division has ceased all communications and dispatched troops to the Underground Railway. This must be the card they were referring to. We also sent teams to the railway, but have since lost contact with them. We have no choice but to ask for your help. Please infiltrate the railway and stop them.
Main system. Engaging combat mode.
AC detected. High heat source detected. It's moving. Heat source is increasing.
Part acquired.
It's extremely hot. What is it? We have no data on this, so be careful.
Mission objective achieved. System switch to normal mode.
Even though they've lost their last card, it's unlikely the Mars Division will cease its activities. They've declared independence and have refused any contact. We've learned that the Mars Division has plans to fire high-density napalm missiles from the Quire Missile Station. They've targeted the major Martian cities. They're acting independently and are nothing but a nuisance, but as the parent company, we're responsible for our subsidiaries' actions. Please enter the base and stop the missiles. I understand this is a difficult request. Please be careful and avoid a worst-case scenario at any cost.
Main system engaging combat mode.
Missiles 1, 3, and 6 are armed and ready to fire.
Looks like they're armed and ready to fire. Find the controls and abort the launch.
Mission objective achieved. System switched to normal mode.
As part of the LCC reorganization, the new director is coming from Earth. He'll arrive at Vilhur spaceport within a couple of days. Your job is to guard the spaceport. Of course, there's no one left to resist us, but still, we must display our power to the new director. In other words, this is a demonstration. All you are required to do is wait along the perimeter of the airport. We're paying you just to sit there. Soon all Ravens will be under LCC's command. This is your last job. The director will be escorted by the Special Forces. Do not get in the way. That is all. Of all the
They've arrived.
Commencing operation. We'll take over the airport.
Destroy all enemy forces.
It's an insurrection. The Special Forces are revolting. Attack!
Main system engaging combat mode.
We'll meet again.
At this time, LCC is unable to function due to a lack of leadership and manpower. This request is being made directly by us, the Earth government. Now, the Special Forces have revolted and now occupy a number of major Martian facilities. Even Zeo City and its headquarters, recently captured by us, have been taken over. Now, to counter this, we've devised a plan to regain control, but we're going to require the assistance of a Raven. We hereby request that you eliminate the Special Forces running rampant in the city. We ask that you please enter the city and destroy the occupying forces. Meanwhile, we'll move one of our teams from the headquarters roof down into the building. The location of the revolt's leader, Leos Klein, is still unknown. If you see him, take him out. This is a top priority. We'll await your return.
A Raven, commencing attack. Roger, let's take him down quickly.
Main system engaging combat.
Take care of any enemies on the ground. We'll enter the main building via the roof.
Part acquired.
Access to the building, and we'll take out the Special Forces.
Mission objective achieved. System switched to normal mode.
We've received a report from the infiltration team. They've discovered a research lab constructed during the first terraforming underneath Zeomatrix headquarters. Zeomatrix headquarters has been retaken, but the Special Forces still occupy the underground lab. We are requesting that you mop up these remaining forces. Disorder units have also been detected in the underground research lab. Please be advised. We'd like you to continue the removal of the Special Forces from areas they've occupied. Please head for the Hammerhead space station, now orbiting Mars. Reports indicate that the Special Forces are concentrated on the space station. And judging from this show of force, we assume that Leo's Klein is there as well. The main objective is the removal of all Special Forces occupying the station. If Klein is encountered, please take him out also. We'll give you access to Rapture. That's our Mars orbit elevator for this mission only. Please make your way to the space station ASAP. We'll await your return.
Main system engaging combat mode.
Disturbance detected in cargo room 1. Get there now. You won't get lost if you follow the signs.
Cannot unlock gate. Gate check. Cannot unlock gate. Cannot unlock gate.
A disorder unit. What's it doing here? We've been informed by the Earth government that Klein has been located. They've ordered you to return immediately. We'll leave the rest up to the government troops.
The prototype has been destroyed. Don't let him escape.
AC approaching. Multiple ACs detected. They're the Frightners. Hurry to the gate. You won't be able to escape if you're surrounded.
cannot unlock gate. Gate check. Cannot unlock gate. Gate check. Cannot unlock gate.
This is East of Eden. ID signal confirmed. Commencing recovery.
Mission objective achieved. System switched to normal mode.
We've received a report from the infiltration team. They've discovered a research lab constructed during the first terraforming underneath Zeomatrix headquarters. Zeomatrix headquarters has been retaken, but the Special Forces still occupy the underground lab. We are requesting that you mop up these remaining forces. Disorder units have also been detected in the underground research lab. Please be advised.
Main system engaging combat mode.
Monitor, what's happening? Raven, our system is down. Communication impossible. We'll have to make it on your own.
System switch to normal mode.
We have confirmed Leos Klein's whereabouts. He's located in Rapture's core. We request that you remove him as soon as possible. Now, Rapture's reactor is its heart. If it's destroyed, the power it gathers and supplies to Mars will be lost. In a worst-case scenario, damage to the reactor could destroy Rapture. Rapture is an important symbol to those living on Mars. It must not be lost. You've got to remove Klein without destroying Rapture. Help us return peace and order to Mars by eliminating Klein. We'll await your return.
Main systems engaging combat mode.
Don't attack the reactor. If it explodes, it might take you with it. Watch out. They've planted bombs that are difficult to detect.
Part acquired.
Let's fight, Raven. We'll settle this in battle.
Temperature reading in the reactor. Shifting to alert status. Verify reactor status. Commence operations ASAP.
Let's fight, Raven. We'll settle this in battle. Let's fight, Raven. We'll settle this in battle. Let's fight, Raven.
Klein isn't here. Your mission is complete. Let's head back to base.
We've made a mistake. An LCC military facility has been overtaken by the Special Forces, and Valena Corporation's STAI battleship has been launched from its underground berth. It seems the upheavals around the planet were a ploy designed by Klein to split our forces. His objective was to take over the military facility and launch the STAI. The STAI is a battleship designed by Valena, with enough firepower to destroy the entire planet. Fact is, Klein has acquired the greatest weapon on Mars. Klein must be stopped. Right now he's headed towards Phobos, and it's likely he'll attack the surface from that position. Now enter the STAI via the transport ship and shut it down. A lot of Ravens have been hired for this mission. Your combined strength is the key to success. We wish you the best of luck.
Target detected. Commencing drop.
System engaging combat mode.
We're working on opening the hatch. Please hold on.
Looks like we're the only ones who made it. Alright, let's rock.
Cannot unlock gate.
I'm not letting you through, Raven. I see. You're,
You remind me of another pilot I knew long ago. A rebel. I've already figured someone like you into my calculation. It's my intention that you do not interfere with my plans. Raven, it's not over yet. Phobos, that is where I'll be reborn.
We've received a transmission from Phobos, from none other than Leos Klein himself. The content of this transmission was shocking, to say the least. According to him, Phobos is an artifact left by an ancient Martian civilization. He claims it's an enormous mobile weapon controlled by a high-tech computer. We had a hard time believing him, but there is evidence to support his claim. According to recent calculations, Phobos' orbit has already shifted. Now, whether it's a weapon or not, if Phobos plummets to the Martian surface, the damage it would do to mankind would be irreparable. This is our last request. You must stop Klein. If this mission succeeds, we'll grant the Ravens their freedom. We'll relinquish our control and allow you to live independently as mercenaries. This is a promise. This is the greatest reward ever offered to a Raven. I wouldn't advise you to pass up this kind of an opportunity. We'll await your return.
Main system engaging combat mode.
Why? We were nothing but pawns?
We humans need strict supervision. We cannot live on our own. A state dedicated solely to ravens. I'm a realist, not some fool. All that I've wanted to do is to revive the ways of old. Die, rebel! Raven!
Phobos orbit altered. It's falling toward the Martian surface.
Destroy the orbit control mechanism. Phobos will stop when you do so.
Phobos orbit's deteriorating. You'll never make it. Get out, hurry!
Raven. What is it that you wish?
The government has announced the death of Leos Klein, leader of the coup d'etat. This effectively ends the uprising. Society refers to him as the revolutionary who tried to create a government on Mars. I don't agree with that. But it's impossible to know what he really intended, now that Phobos is destroyed and the LCC and Frightners no longer exist. I don't think he was mistaken, though. I just think he used the wrong means in attempting to obtain what he wanted. Mars is about to begin a new phase in its history. Raven, where will you go? What will you do?